Thank you all. You may be seated. Thanks, everyone. That was beautiful. A really great song to remind us, especially in this year, to not give up, right? This year of 2020, unlike any other. So yeah, welcome. It's wonderful to see you all today. As you may notice, I'm going to give the message today, and Jerry is relaxing, so he got a little under the weather. We were a little worried, but it's just a cold, negative COVID, so no worries. But yeah, in the end, I don't know. I kind of felt happy to give this message today. It's our final one in Gifts from God. So thank you all so much for being here in this moment right now, and welcome together. Christmas. Did y'all have a good Christmas?
Yes.
Yes, I hope so. So yeah, this past week we celebrated Christmas, right? The birth of Jesus, and we had a wonderful time. It was just our little family, and I mean that's kind of how my Christmases were growing up, just me and my parents. But yeah, I thought it's just really a special time to make memories, build moments with your family. And I think for us, really, it's a blending of the traditions, the old and the new, right? So there's a little angel ornament that actually was my mom's when she was a kid, and she was born in like 1930 in Germany. So it's pretty amazing. We have a bunch of her ornaments on our tree. And then if you don't know Elf on the Shelf, that is an elf on the shelf. Our kids named her Jingles. They really wanted one this year, and basically it pops up somewhere in your house every morning. The kids find her, and then at night she goes to the North Pole and reports back to Santa to let Santa know if they were good today. So it was really fun, actually, throughout December having Jingles. The kids were sad to see her go. She went back to the North Pole. She'll be back next year. But yeah, it's just fun blending. I think Christmas time, holidays is such a nice time to bring your memories from your childhood or your own traditions and blend them, especially if you're married, right? Like with your spouse or their family, and put it together. For us, that's really the German Christmas Eve with the German songs and the Bible story, and then the American Christmas morning that Jerry grew up with in Christmas pajamas. So anyway, I hope you all had good memories this past week. And today we're going to talk about past, present, and future, because it's the last Sunday of 2020. So, yeah, that's really exciting. I'm guessing you're looking forward to the last Sunday of 2020.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to start with Jeremiah 29:11. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So God was speaking to the Israelites as they're going through a challenging time, much like we are now, and reminding them, that God's hope is for all of us to be happy, plans to prosper, plans to give you a future. He doesn't want us to go through these hard times, right? Even though sometimes we do. Sometimes it's hard to really understand or believe that God has a plan, especially in times like this or struggles, but He does, right? And it's up to us what we do with it. But sometimes life is filled with obstacles, right? Filled with ups and downs, with struggles, things don't go our way, and we feel like no matter what we do, it won't get better, and we wonder, when is God going to show up? Many of us might have had these moments in this past year, especially. But what if God can use those experiences to build us up, right? Use the good and the bad, the struggles, the challenges, to help shape and mold us into who we are and who we're becoming. Especially this past year, right, was a rough year. Just starting to reflect back on it. Our kids, Merle somehow wishes that as soon as it's 2021, everything is like poof, magically better, right? So we let her know, well, it's going to take a little time. Yes, 2021 will eventually be back to normal. But I think we're all ready to just say goodbye, right, to 2020. And, this year was rough. Maybe some of you worked remotely in your homes, dealing with kids, schooling remotely. Maybe you've quarantined, all the social distancing, the masks, to hug or not to hug, just missing people, missing normal. Maybe some people lost a job or found new opportunities, but it wasn't an easy year. At the same time, though, I'm sure you found some joy, right? I think if you reflect back on it, I'm sure you can think of at least one thing that was good in this past year. You know, for some of you it's more obvious, like a new baby. For others it might be something small. But I think that through being, more stuck at home or being isolated in a sense, we get more creative too, right? With our time, with what we do. Maybe we picked up a new hobby. Maybe we grew deeper in a friendship with someone. Maybe we supported local businesses more or got creative with date nights at home. Maybe we discovered more local parks. We definitely did that. Maybe you even made a pen pal. I'm not sure if anyone did that. But yeah, there's a few things I'm sure that when you look back that actually were unique in its own way, that may have been unexpected, that through 2020 came out, right? And 2020 has changed us, I would say. So Jerry shared an article with me the other day, and it's about interior design and how there's going to be a shift in 2021, and they're saying that open living is going away. Open living concepts. I'm sure not for everyone, but the idea is that now that people are working from home more, stuck at home more, they crave more separate spaces, right? And it's funny because Jerry and I have always worked from home, so we've always felt that way. Actually, we kind of liked having a little office here, a little playroom there, versus like a big open space, right? But it works different for everyone. But it's very interesting to read that, like how it's already changing our way of life potentially, and that there are maybe some things in this past year that we will continue to carry with us. Maybe we'll wash our hands more. I don't know. But believe it or not, 2020 has shaped us, right, and our world. And some things might stick with us, and we'll really appreciate, just the regular human experience, human touch, all those things that maybe we normally take for granted. I bet there'll be some really cool movies too, weird movies about 2020. But yeah, as we prepare for a new year, what are some ways that we can prepare? First, I think it's important to recognize that it's okay to look back and just be upset. That's okay. Like, if you went through some rough times this year, if you felt lonely, if you felt upset, frustrated, disappointed, whatever it was, it's okay to just recognize that and feel all those feelings. I think it's important to do that. You have the right to, right? It's what you went through, it's your experience. But then also to try and let them go in these next few days, offer them up to God, leave them behind. Like, they're a part of you and what made you. At the same time, to really step into a new year, we want to be able to turn a fresh page, right? So being able to let go of some of that. And maybe some of that is forgiveness, which is hard, which can be really hard. And maybe you're not ready to forgive a person or a situation fully right away, but maybe you could even just start on that journey now to get into that fresh page. Also, it's good to see what went well. As we're just sharing, there's some things that might have gone good for you. Think about how you grew, new experiences you had. Maybe you learned how to use Amazon delivery. Appreciating the little positive moments, and maybe you got to know some family or friends on a deeper level than before. Maybe you opened up and shared your struggles more with the world or with someone. Maybe even a can of worms was opened, and while it was hard, you could begin that healing process. Because in difficult times, a lot can come to light, right? Sometimes in difficult situations, things come out that you've been feeling and kind of hiding. So even though that's hard, it's the start, right, of healing or processing whatever it is you need to go through. So it can really be the start of something beautiful. Thinking of some of our unique experiences or things that went well. One was Kyler's birthday way back in May. It was still it was restaurants weren't open, things like that. And I remember being worried because I love birthdays. I'm like, oh, how am I going to make him feel special? But then he got an Amazon birthday cake of people who mailed stuff. There was a little car parade, friends were honking and had little signs. And anyway, so it's like we were creative this past year, finding new ways to bring joy, new ways to share our love. And also, as we get into the new year, looking forward, right? So considering, the chance of new things. So everything might not change overnight, but maybe this is the year that, you'll exercise, or you'll give faith a chance, start a new job, learn a new hobby, maybe go outside more, maybe get married or become a grandparent, all kinds of things. Maybe you'll learn to relax and play more, or work harder, depending on what you need. It's important to really look forward to what that life can be, and to start looking at it and dreaming so that you can prepare to live that best year, right? And this can be your year. So we want to encourage you to put yourself out there, to try new things. They always say that this can be your year, right? But why not? Why not make it the best year yet? And really dream those dreams, make those vision boards. We've been talking about doing that with our kids in this next few days, make little vision boards together. Really put it out there. If you don't proclaim it, put it out there into the universe, That's really the first thing, the first step, recognizing what it is you want to accomplish, whether it's something physical, like a car, a house, or something more in your heart, more internal, right? A dream of a relationship going deeper, or something spiritual, right? At the same time, though, it's beautiful to dream and think about the future, but all we can do currently is live in the now, right? That's what we can deal with right now. So thinking about what can I do today, in a week, what can I accomplish in a month? Really taking it one step at a time and not getting overwhelmed by our dreams. The year is already past. We learned from it, but we can't change it. And the future is still filled with unknowns. So we can prepare, but we can't control it either. So that's why being present, living in the now, is actually so important. And today on Facebook this morning, I was scrolling through, and there was 2 quotes that popped up. It's so related to today's message, which is very interesting. Little God moments. One quote shared by High Noon was, "Our future depends on how we use our past to inform our present decisions." And I thought, wow, that is really cool. And then another one someone shared was, "The best present you can give today is to be present," which is our next slide here. We want to be present, right? It's interesting to think that just being present, being in the moment, can be a present to someone, with your kids or with your spouse. Sometimes with a friend, we might feel present, but we're looking through our phone, doing our own thing, right? That's not being fully present, but really being able to just put it down, look each other in the eye, and just be there for that person, being fully present in that moment. Clocks. In the new year, we see, you always see a clock, right? And it's a reminder of time. So the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, the years that go by, right? So it's a good reminder when we start the new year to think of that time, the past, the present, the future, and all of its potential as well that it resembles, and just being grateful for the time that we're given, grateful for, the different seasons in our life, the different challenges, experiences that we go through. So as we close this year, I think it's important to recognize, the ups and the downs, what we've learned, give the moments the credit that they deserve. After all, actually, we are part of history in the making. As hard as it's been, it's something that'll go down in the books probably, and people look back one day and you'll tell your grandkids, back in 2020. Hopefully this won't repeat, and hopefully this will be our only story like this. But yeah, just really recognizing it and closing the year in your heart, in your soul, and looking forward to all the things that you want to do, the new things you want to try, and recognizing that some things you'll fail at, and that's okay. Some things won't go as well as you expected. You might try something new and realize you don't like it, but just, don't let it stop you. It's good to try new things, to go and do it, and, get up and try again or try something new. None of us are perfect. We're all still growing, right? And through all the ups and downs, you'll find the things that make your heart sing. And make this year an adventure, doing new things, making the best life yet. And, your friends believe in you, your family believes in you, we believe in you, God believes in you. Whatever it is that you feel is kind of next in your life list, right, next in your goal list, we believe in you that you can really do it with the support of, community, of friends, of God, your heavenly parent. So I wanted to take some time, I hope you can read that, just a couple minutes, since it's the end of the year, the last Sunday of 2020. There should be some paper, some pencils, or maybe you can just use your phone. We're going to take just a few minutes to reflect, personally. We still have some time to pray and to share with others, so this is really just about you, yourself, your own mind and spirit, and to reflect on these 3 questions. One of them is, what are some things that were hard in the past year, challenges you faced, or new things that you learned and gained? So that's all kind of about 2020. Number 2 is, what are your hopes and dreams for the future? Whatever comes to mind, doesn't need to be all, planned out. And then what are 3 things, or even 1 thing, you can do now to start working towards them? So we want to give you a few minutes to just reflect on your own, on your phone, a little piece of paper, or just in your mind, meditate, whatever you need to do, or doodle, whatever works for you. We just want to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and do that now, and then we'll wrap up our message. So please enjoy. take another minute or two. All right. I hope that was good for you, and you can feel free to do more of this on your own. Continue this reflection time, meditation, prayer, whatever it is that you need. And thanks for doing that and allowing yourself to just sit in that moment with me, myself, and I. That's something that should be one of my New Year's goals. I'm not very good at being by myself, taking time to just be alone. I like to be with others all the time. But anyway, thanks for doing that. I think it's important, and it's something, that you deserve. You deserve that time to look inward, to love yourself, and to think about, what's happened, but also what you can do moving forward. I wrote down a lot of stuff. It was pretty easy thinking about the future. The second question, I have like a long list. But I think, and a new year is a chance to remind us of being grateful, not taking things for granted, and just being grateful for another year, another chance, another day, right? So I hope that you can have that as well, and recognize there are little things you can already start doing. For me, I wrote down, believe in myself, trust in God, offer things up to God, and worry less. I can be a worrywart sometimes. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, and I wanted to finish with a quote. So thank you for taking time for yourself. That's very important. And I wanted to read a quote from Father Moon. It says, "When love is used in the right way, it can be most constructive. God made love supremely powerful, and that has not changed all through the past or present, and will not change in the future." So, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling lost or alone at all, search for that love, right? Love is the strongest, most powerful force. So searching for that love inside of you, maybe love from a family member or friend, the love of community, love of giving and receiving joy with someone, self-love. And, there's so many different kinds of love. There's children's love, sibling love, married love, parental love, and ultimately letting that love of God just flow through you, I think, is really what can help get you through anything. So I hope that you can really feel that in your heart, whether you've experienced God before or not.